Oh, talking about create, great segue. What is your thought process when you're creating stuff? Is it, from just spontaneous, or do you sit down and say, okay, I'm going to create, or yeah, let us know what is your.
Yeah, sure. It's really just a mix. I mean, what you just said is kind of all the above. There's times where things come into my head. I mean, I've made many of beats and music from, I'll be at work and the bass line comes into my head, and then I'll just, hum it out and record it on voice notes. And I've had instances where I've woke up because I dreamt a chord progression, and went straight to the computer and laid it out. Nice. Other times, I'll say, you know what, I haven't been up here for a while. Let me see what I can do. And a lot of those times, those moments where I'm like, okay, I just want to work on something, that's where I feel like drum loops are essential. Mm-hmm. I love using them because you can, you find a drum loop that might be different out of something you would create on your own, and then that kind of opens your playing up a little bit. So sometimes I'll do that as well, just to spark some new life into some ideas. So yeah, that's pretty much how I come up with stuff. It's a mix. It just depends.
Guitar first or bass first?
I would say primarily guitar first. Chord progressions. I'm the chord guy. I like to tell people that. If anything about me, it's chords. It's just, for some reason, I've always just gravitated towards it. I think that's why I have an affinity for jazz. I took jazz guitar lessons for about 3 months, just learning a bunch of chords. I had my teacher teach me chords, gave me books on chords, and then I just developed figuring out chords just using my ear. Just, would play something and then in my mind think, okay, I know where it needs to go. And then I just mess around until I get there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I'm always, for the most part, building things off of chord progressions. Every once in a while, it'll be a bass. Usually bass for me happens if I use a drum loop. If there's some type of like a funky drum loop that I come across, then that kind of brings out the groove in me to be like, all right, let me start this with bass. That's going to drive the song, and then I'll add everything else around. But yeah, guitar primarily.
I saw Peyton smiling because Peyton is a drummer, and like,
oh, nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
no, drums are, as you know, drums are very essential. Drums, especially in lo-fi, it's kind of a make or break thing, because I feel like as nice as an arrangement can be, or a chord progression can be, or even the production can be, if those drums aren't hitting, or if those drums don't sound good, fans, out. Yeah, you're out. It's
you're out.
Yeah, it's game over. So. Yeah. No, drums are very, very important.